All right, let's talk about something that's on pretty much everyone's mind: wealth. Have you ever noticed how some people just seem to get it while the rest of us feel like we're working harder and harder but not really getting anywhere? In this explainer, we're going to pull back the curtain on how money actually works so you can start building a real foundation for your own success. Okay, let's just get right to it because this question, it hits home for so many of us, doesn't it? We chase the things we think will make us feel successful. The promotion, the fancy car, but then we get them, and that feeling of fulfillment, it just doesn't last. That's because we're confusing the symbols of wealth with the real substance of it. You see it all the time, right? On the left, you've got the flashy stuff we see on social media, the cars, the expensive trips, all the luxury goods. But on the right, that's what we're really after. The freedom to make our own choices, the purpose that comes from doing something that matters, and that deep, unshakable peace of mind. Getting these two mixed up is probably the biggest trap on the path to prosperity. So to get to that real substance, we have to do a full reset. We've got to completely reboot our definition of what wealth even means. It's so much bigger than just the number in your bank account. Now look at this definition. This is a game changer. It shifts the entire focus from what you have to what you can do. The key words here are ability, create, manage, and multiply. This tells you right away that wealth isn't just a static pile of cash. It's a dynamic skill. It's the ability to generate value over and over again. So how do you actually build that ability? Well, check this out. It's an equation. And honestly, think of it like baking a cake. You need good ingredients, that's the value you create. You have to let it cook long enough, that's time. And you need to follow the recipe with discipline and patience, that's your character. When you combine those three, wealth stops being about luck and starts becoming a predictable result. And here's where it all comes together. True wealth is a three-legged stool. You've got your physical stuff, sure, money, property, resources. But then you've got your mental wealth, your knowledge, your creativity, and finally, your spiritual wealth, that sense of peace and purpose. We all know people who are killing it financially, but are just miserable, right? That's because their stool is wobbly. You need all three layers working together to feel truly, deeply prosperous. Okay, so if wealth is all about creating value, then how do we get money to come to us instead of always feeling like we're chasing it? Well, it all boils down to one of the most important ideas we're going to talk about today. This quote, this just says it all. Money isn't the point, it's the result of being useful. I mean, think about the most successful companies out there. Google is useful because it organizes all of human knowledge. Amazon is useful because it brings anything you want to your door. They create immense value by being incredibly useful, and the money is just a reflection of that. And value can be, well, almost anything. It can be a physical product, a helpful service, a brilliant idea, even just a great experience. So I want you to just think for a second. What problems do you enjoy solving? What are you uniquely good at? The more you focus on creating value for others, the more wealth will naturally flow back to you. And here's the playbook for how that exchange actually works. It's a simple 4-step chain. You find a need, you create a solution, you deliver it consistently, and then, and only then, you get the reward. If you can get really, really good at moving through these 4 steps, you basically build a wealth creation machine for yourself. All right, so your value creation engine is fired up and ready to go. Now what? Which road are you going to take? Well, there are basically 3 main highways you can travel on to build lasting wealth. Let's break them down. Now this table, this is like a map of the whole journey. Most of us start with work. That's active income, where you are literally trading your time for money. The next road is business. This creates scalable income, meaning you build a system that can make money even when you're sleeping. And the final destination, investment. That's where you get passive income, when your money starts working hard to make more money for you. And you can see this natural progression, this cycle, with so many successful people. The Jeff Bezos story is a perfect example. He started with a job on Wall Street, earning and learning. He used that foundation to build a business, Amazon, which created a scalable system. And now he uses the profits from that business to make investments. That cycle is the classic, time-tested path to real financial freedom. Okay, I need you to lean in for this next part because what we're about to cover, it might be the single most important concept in all of finance. Seriously, if you can get this one thing right, it will change your entire financial life. It honestly doesn't get any simpler than this. An asset puts money in your pocket, A liability takes money out of your pocket. That's it. Let's say you buy a new car. Every single month, that car payment, the insurance, the gas, it all takes money out of your pocket. It's a liability. Now, what if you instead bought a stock that pays you a dividend every quarter? That puts money in your pocket. That's an asset. See the difference? So just look at these two lists. The wealthy play a totally different game. They pour their time, their energy, and their money into buying things from that first list, the assets. And here's the magic part. Those assets then generate the income to pay for all the stuff on the second list. So the question for you is, which list are you building? And this chart just makes it crystal clear. Look where the money is flowing. For the wealthy, it's a gusher, straight into assets that create even more money for them. It creates this powerful upward spiral. The big takeaway here is that it's not about how much money you make, it's about where you point to your money. But here's the thing. All of this, the equations, the strategies, the assets, none of it matters without the one thing that controls it all. And that's the supercomputer between your ears, your mind. If you can get your mindset right, everything else starts to fall into place. I love this quote because it's so true. Your mind is literally a factory. The question is, what is it producing? So many of us walk around with these hidden beliefs about money, that it's evil, or that we don't deserve it, or that it's hard to get. But the second you start changing that internal programming, the second you start to believe that you can be wealthy by creating value, your entire reality begins to shift. So let's be real for a second. What do your daily habits say about your mindset? Are you spending your free time scrolling through entertainment? Or are you reading a book that could change your finances? Do you plan your purchases, or do you just buy on impulse? Your habits are literally a printout of your financial future. So when you boil it all down, it really comes to this. Wealth isn't something you find out there in the world. It's something you become. You focus on becoming a person of value, a person with wisdom and discipline. And money? Well, money is just the applause you get for the value you've created. So that leaves us with one final crucial question. Your mind is your greatest asset. It's your own personal factory. What are you going to choose to build with it? Are you going to manufacture fear and limitation? Or are you going to build freedom and fortune? The blueprints are in your hands. It's time to start building.